Welcome to the
Paranormalolcast.
Paranormalolcast.
So welcome everybody to the first Paranormal Lolcast. I took a lot of time to think about that title, and I hope everybody enjoys it because it's not just a podcast, it's a lolcast because I
Lolcast.
like to lol. And I think my co-hosts like to lol as well. So anyway,
No, we really
Oh,
don't.
do I?
Nobody likes to lol, but tonight we will lol.
There is no lolling allowed.
So I'm Jesse Capehart. My co-hosts here are Ed Honorato.
Yep. Hello.
Yep, hello. And Grant Geyser.
Yes.
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 Yes. So we're off to a solid start. Okay, so the point of this podcast, or I'm sorry, this lolcast, is basically we just I find a lot of funny things going on in the world. You know, there's a lot of different conspiracy theories and paranormal theories, all sorts of theories. You know, like everything's a theory anymore. You know, right, Ed?
Right. What's on the menu today?
So on the
What are
menu
we
today
biting into?
is we're going to be for our inaugural episode. We're going to be talking about the Denver International Airport. Woo!
Yeah.
And yeah, so they fly planes in and out of there, you know, and it's pretty scary. No, there's all sorts of conspiracy theories about the the Denver International Airport.
The gigantic anatomically correct horse notwithstanding.
Yes, there is a giant anatomically correct horse. Do not look between its legs unless you wish to have a fun surprise.
I've looked deep between its legs. Deep.
You know the funny thing about that statue?
What's the funny thing
What?
about that statue?
The guy who created it, he was killed by that statue the day it was placed.
Wait,
Is
what? How did that
for
happen?
real? Well, I mean, maybe it's.
It fell over and it killed him while it was being placed.
Wow.
Well, then.
So the horrors of the Denver International Airport started really early, I guess.
Now with
Yeah.
ghosts.
Now with ghosts as well, on top of, and these are all the different things that have been purported to have gone on there. There is supposedly a secret underground military base underneath the airport, which is used by the Illuminati, the New World Order, neo-Nazis, and reptoids. So,
Well, I mean,
you know, that's
what
probably
I-
a pretty cool lunch time, you know?
what I heard was that they built a 5-story structure underneath of the Denver International Airport.
Hmm.
And, you know, reasons why it was built range from like FEMA concentration camp to, yes, you know, New World Order headquarters, whatever, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Jesse
So, like-
Ventura was on True TV one time talking about how that facility was built to survive the 2012 apocalypse.
That's true, actually. He did have that conversation, and that is one of the theories behind the airport, that it serves, and I'm serious, people believe that it serves as an underground bunker for the U.S. government in a post-apocalyptic scenario,
Did
according
Michael
Yeah.
Bay?
to the denverchannel.com.
Did Michael
Yeah.
Bay know about this shit when he was making his movie?
Which movie?
The movie about 2012. That was Michael Bay, wasn't
Nah,
it?
that wasn't Michael Bay. That was Schumacher, I want to say. Some guy that does a lot of those big budget disaster movies. I can't remember his name at the
What
moment.
movie is this? Is like this
Okay,
movie
so-
like literally named 2012?
Yeah, there's a
Like,
movie named 2012. It's got what's his name? My mind's blank. Anyway, it's about, you know, 2012.
John Cusack.
Yeah, John Cusack. And yeah, there's like they have to fight 2012, you know? They have to
Oh, yeah,
rage
I mean-
against the 2012 apocalypse.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
that's
coming
right.
for
It's made
you.
by the same guy who did The Day After Tomorrow.
Yes, that's correct. I like The Day After
Basically-
Tomorrow.
Every single pseudoscience thing that you can be persuaded to believe about 2012 happens in the movie 2012.
Yeah, it's just a clusterfuck. But anyway,
Yeah.
we're not here to talk about fake things like the movie 2012. We're here to
Yeah,
talk
it's
about
fake. Fuck
real
all that.
things like the Illuminati, the NWO, neo-Nazis, and reptoid aliens all getting together in the same base. They do use
me-
the base at the same time, do you think? Or is it just
I mean, you could be a reptoid and you could be a member of the Illuminati. I mean, it's like,
That's
they're
right.
not. I
Actually,
think
they
they're
do
not
say that the
mutually.
reptoids are the Illuminati.
Yeah.
But what if you were like a neo-Nazi reptoid?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you guys. Let me tell you guys a fact about
Okay,
this airport. Let me tell you a
give me
fact
a
about this
fact. Give
airport.
me a good fact.
All right, this airport opened February the 29th or 28th, 1995,
Hmm.
and it was 16 months behind schedule, and it cost $4.8 billion.
That's right, which is a
And
lot
that's
more than
two
it should have
billion.
taken, right?
That's $2 billion over the apparent budget. And where's all that money going? Where I think it's going is right underground,
That's right.
5 stories under, man. Fucking, we're
And
I was
that's
going to
talking.
say construction companies, but okay.
but that's one of the things that led to the conspiracies to begin. Actually,
Yeah,
supposedly Denver already had what they considered a perfectly good airport, and they got all this extra government funding to build a new airport in Denver, which they felt was unneeded, and has a lot of actually, I think it's runways that they do not have the need to use. And people are like, okay, so why are we building this new airport? And why are we spending all these billions of dollars for something that should only cost like, I don't know, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was like at least two or three times way over budget with all the sorts of government funding.
yeah, 4.8 billion.
Yeah, so originally, I guess the first conspiracy was, what are they building in there? And
Well, yeah,
yeah,
New
you
World
know,
Order.
Here's
So,
what you need to understand though.
hmm
When they built Denver International, they were basically solving this huge problem that Stapleton International had faced throughout the entire time that it was in commission.
what was the
And
problem?
well, first off, wasn't someone just talking earlier about how Denver International has fewer runways?
No, it has more runways, but
and they're
they're
shaped
but
like a
they're
swastika.
unused,
Well, yeah, here's the thing.
And they're a swastika.
and they are a
Well,
swastika if you look at it
it,
from the air.
it is in the shape of a swastika, but what I want you to imagine is what would happen to those planes if the runways formed like a traditional cross.
I'd
Um,
imagine they would land.
yeah, there'd be a lot of
They
fun
would
things
land and they would
happening
crash
there.
into each other, and that is the problem that Stapleton International faced back then.
So are you telling me that this swastika shape is just the perfect airport shape?
I'm telling you, the swastika is the most efficient shape that an airport can be.
Oh wow.
Well,
Did they actually have any
well,
planes
pardon
crash into
me.
each other? Or
Not unless they really, really wanted to,
no, no,
I guess.
I meant did Stapleton ever actually have the issue of an airplane actually crashing into another airplane
Well,
due to a
no.
failure of I guess coordination?
Well, there were two sets of three runways each, and these two sets crossed each other, so that only three of these runways could be used at any time. Denver International has 5 runways, and none of them cross, and they can all be used simultaneously provided the weather is good.
I see. Yeah, I do believe that that is probably the explanation for the interesting shape of the airport, but I do think it's one of the funnier observations about it.
One of
Well,
the
I'm
one
not
of
buying it.
I'm not buying it. You don't think the neo-Nazis purposely designed it like a giant swastika to make their mark on the
maybe
I
that
earth?
was
think
just
that it's
Hitler's.
probably.
You know what? Maybe Hitler discovered that.
Hitler discovered that the
Maybe
swastika
he
was the
just
perfect
discovered
airport.
the swastika was the perfect design for an airport, and that's what the Nazis came to make as an emblem in
Oh,
honor
there
of
you
his
go. Because, like,
discovery.
before he was a dictator and stuff, he just wanted to be an airport designer. Isn't that right?
Yeah,
Well, he
right.
did go through a lot of things. I mean, he did paint for a while, and then he got into activism, and he got thrown in jail.
Painted a lot of airports, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay,
The
so
neo-Nazi agenda is a New World Order agenda designed to divide us. And so the imagery and the symbolism of the swastika, is it an effective means of designing an airport? Maybe. But is it a Nazi means of designing an airport? Definitely.
absolutely.
You
I
could
did
probably choose
not
like
see
out of a
that
book a
coming.
bunch of different maybe more efficient airport designs. But no, you just threw the Nazi symbol on there.
You know, and
Coincidence? I think not.
yeah, I think you are right. Okay, so so going back to the conspiracies and mysteries of the airport being built. So yeah, initially people thought that okay, maybe the government is building some kind of base underneath the airport with all that money. Um, and tying into that, apparently there was quite a bit of Masonic symbolism throughout the airport. I'm guessing a bunch of Freemasons probably worked on the construction of it. There's in fact
Yep.
actually a time capsule on top of one of their towers. It's in the shape of a triangle and it has the Masonic symbol on it. I'm not sure when that's supposed to be opened. I'll have to double check that one. But yeah, so there's all sorts of Masonic symbolism across the airport itself, not only in little, I guess, engravings and time capsules, but in the artwork. Now, I understand that you two have actually seen the
Also,
artwork in person, haven't you?
it's also important to consider that there are a couple of Grand Lodges in Colorado for the Freemasons.
That's true. I think they're not far
Yes.
away from Denver Airport, actually.
And indeed, there is a time capsule. And indeed, it has the symbol of the Freemasons, which are totally, absolutely linked to the New World Order.
Absolutely. But how are they linked, I wonder? I've never really bought into the Freemason conspiracies, to be honest, because it just seems to me to be a bunch of dudes who like building shit and they get together and have a little club. I don't know. We'll have to do an episode on them at some point because
Well, I mean, look at some of the shit that they've built. Look at look at all of the masonry on the finest of buildings, city halls. You know,
that's true. And they also, they helped Nicolas Cage steal the Declaration of Independence back, didn't they? Yeah,
unforgivable.
something like that. But yeah, we'll have to do a whole new episode on the Freemasons. But yeah, I guess all we generally need to know right now is apparently the Freemasons are spoopy, scary people who build spoopy, scary things and want to bring forth the New World Order to us. What do you think they're hiding in the time capsule?
Probably the secret to eternal life or something, or a leader.
Like you just gotta pop open
It's
the
a
time
picture of
capsule
Dick
and
Butt.
it's a picture of Dick Butt. What if Dick Butt is the secret to eternal life? The original drawing is inside the time capsule. They open it up, and just a golden light shines across your face as you peer down into this platinum etching of Dick Butt, our one true Lord and Savior.
We
Yes.
just really, really need a couple of vandals to break into that thing when nobody's around and just replace whatever's inside with a picture of Dick Butt.
I think that's a good use of pretty much anybody's time. I actually, I fully endorse anybody going ahead and doing that. You can go ahead and blame us if you get caught.
Lizard people.
Fucking lizard people. So yes, there's supposed to be
Damn it.
lizard people as well in underneath this airport.
What the fuck
Well, I
are
mean,
lizard people?
So
They
lizard
have to
people
be.
are called reptoids or reptilians, depending on who you're talking to. I think they were made popular by a conspiracy theorist by the name of David Icke. Um,
Yeah.
he's
Well, I
kind of a
mean, get
crazy
this.
guy, you know. But
Yeah,
what
get
were you
this.
gonna say there, Ed?
Singularity of insanity would probably be a
Singularity of
better
insanity.
descriptor.
That sounds about right. So anyway, these reptoids are supposed to be a race of aliens that they kind of look like dragon people, or if you've ever seen Doctor Who, that there's that like race that they fight that they kind of like there's like basically they're lizard people and they live underneath the ground. It's
Yeah.
kind of pervasive through all of our culture. It makes you wonder
Get
if
this.
there were
Like,
reptoids in the past.
you see,
No,
you
just
see, lizard people. Lizard people have, cold blood or hot blood. Are they hot blood? Are lizards hot blooded or
Lizards are
cold-blooded?
they're
cold-blooded.
cold-blooded.
All right. So get this.
Cold-blooded
Okay.
motherfuckers.
So a lizard who goes to a typically cold place like Colorado, it's going to want to stay warm.
I suppose
And
that's
where's it
correct.
warm? Underneath of the ground.
No
And
fucking way.
what is underneath the ground of the Denver International Airport? A 5-story complex that is made for the New World Order. It could be a FEMA concentration camp as
So
well.
it's
Who knows?
so yes, maybe that's true. Maybe the FEMA concentration camp. I need to
No,
concentrate.
it's consecration camp.
Consecration
That's a great.
camp.
FEMA is blessing all the lizard people so that they can walk the
They
surface
do
among
need to.
us.
They need to give them their blessing. So apparently, the lizard people themselves, people believe that they are either aliens, or they. There is another train of thought that they are the original inhabitants of America, of the United of the Earth,
United
of the
Resident
Earth. You
States
see,
of Lizardia.
so they are the original, Native Americans.
Yeah, I mean that's possible, but then it might also be possible that they came from outer space.
That's true, or
Yeah.
or they could just be from both. Some people say they come from both. They have an intergalactic society, and some of them live here, and some of them live there, and
This
yeah,
is
they're
this is a widely documented case. This is the only photographic evidence we've ever seen. It's David Icks' encounter with one of these lizard people.
yes, when he fought the lizard person on Vasquez Rock, I believe it was.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh man. So yeah, so where are we going with this? So the reptoids generally are in there. You'll see them in a lot of different conspiracy theories. Generally, they seem to be interested in world domination. They are the Saturday morning cartoon villains of UFOlogy, I suppose.
Yep. Yep.
What I really like about David Icke and his lizard people theory is that he has actually gone out of his way to claim that he is not using shape-shifting lizard people as a code word for the Jewish community.
Is that true?
Yes.
I've not heard that one before, but maybe
He's caught some flack
Jewish
for his
people
theory.
aren't lizards.
Oh man, I'm gonna write
Because
this down. We got to do a whole episode
A
on
lot
David
of
Icke
people
now.
have a lot of people believe that David Icke's theory on lizards controlling the world is supposed to be a thinly veiled excuse for anti-Semitism, the belief that Jews control the media and the banking systems and everything else out there in the world. And he genuinely went out of his way, just like that Tea Party candidate did in 2008 when she said, "I am not a witch,"
Uh-huh.
and he pretty much said, "No, I don't mean to say that Jews are among us.
Wait,
I
what?
literally mean lizard. This is not a Jewish plot. This is not a plot on the world by Jewish people. These are real lizards."
So what he's saying is there's a Jewish plot.
Maybe he actually does mean that.
Maybe. I knew
I'm
that
not saying
they're
there's a
crafty,
Jewish plot, but maybe there's a Jewish plot. Not, just gonna put that out there. He
Oh
says,
man. Maybe
not
there
me
is.
saying that. No way.
And just like that, we've gotten banned from Israel on our first episode.
Hey, I can deal with that. I don't even have a passport, so I doubt I'll be going there anytime soon. So, moving on forward, so let's talk about the murals a bit more.
Oh, yeah, I'm
so
looking at one right now.
yeah, I'm looking at some pictures of them, and they are admittedly really fucking metal as fuck,
Which one are you looking at?
So I'm looking at this one right now where it looks like a dead ocelot with a couple of farm working children, or they look like they're working on a farm maybe, but they're over the body of this dead ocelot, and they look like they're freaked out. One lady's holding a glass cube with a penguin inside, and a fucking whale is jumping over her head, and the background looks like fucking Mordor. Everything's on fire. There's a bird in an astral cage, a little girl looking at a map, a Native American that looks kind of like one of those murals of Jesus with his head all glowing, looking up upon everybody. Buffalo chilling on the fucking right. There's a turtle. It looks like somebody took a lot of acid and got to work.
Are you talking about the mural with the giant rainbow over the top?
I do not see a rainbow. Towards the top is the burning wall of trees and a shitty bird inside of a shitty translucent box.
Oh, I'm looking at what you're looking at. And it
Yeah,
looks,
you see. So what
pretty-
could this mean?
Well, it seems to me that this that this represents the subjugation of the Mayan peoples
Ah,
and the
Put the
burning
shop on
of
Discord.
their sacred lands.
I see, I see. Well, apparently, many think the murals that were painted by artist Leo Tanjuma tell the story of apocalyptic bio-warfare destroying the world as we know it, with the New World Order taking over in its place.
Well, I mean, that sounds just as likely to me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can see it. You know, the penguin represents, how we all feel when we're in a glass box being held by a woman with
I'm
a
in a glass
whale jumping
box.
over
Let
their
me
head.
out.
I'm in a glass case of emotions.
Let me out. Let me out. But yeah, this mostly seems to me that it represents the suffering of the Mayan and Aztec peoples after imperialism pushed them out of their lands and burnt them down to the ground in the sake of progress.
Well,
They could also
okay.
this could also be conveying that yes, biochemical warfare is prevailing and burning our modern world down.
And that's
New World
the
Order.
that's the great thing about art, like
What's up with the
it,
bird?
it can mean anything to anybody, and you can always interpret it as you wish.
You see
Subject
what's
to
up with the bird?
interpretation.
I see the bird, and in fact, I'm also noticing that the bird is a common theme in some of these murals. In this one,
Well,
in the
first off,
first,
this one is it's in the glass box, but one of
yes.
the panels is labeled a Quetzal.
Oh, I didn't. My picture is not zoomed in enough to read it. So, what does the label on the box say?
It says Quetzal, some other word underneath that, and then below that it says extinct. So it
Yeah,
looks like it's some
Interesting.
kind of animal on display or something.
It does look like there's a lot of animals on display with the penguin as well, and it looks like the kid is holding another bird in a box.
Well, Quetzalcoatl is a demon. No, not a demon, a god in
It's a
Aztec
deity, yeah.
mythology.
Yeah,
well, that could
I
have
think
been a
it's a
real
giant
bird that
It's
like
like this
bird of
feathered
sorts. Yeah.
serpent. And the Quetzal seems to be an animal that was native to the region that the Aztecs lived in.
But yeah,
I just
so
found like
this
a
bird
picture of the dude that
that painted it.
yeah, and he looks like
Oh, that's
he's
great.
just like tripping.
Yeah,
Anyway, go on.
next
We'll
up
have
on the murals, we got this shit.
So let's see what we got here.
You wanted to talk about an acid trip
Okay.
before. Here's
I was
this
actually
one.
going to get to that one. I want to talk to this other one about this other one real quick first because it has the same bird in it. It's basically it looks like the Last Supper
Oh, I see.
almost. It has the same bird in almost the same position, but he's facing the left instead of the right. There's more like snow leopard looking cats and just a whole bunch of people like swarming around this psychedelic plant. And I think they might want to do something to that plant that I might want to do if I saw that plant as well.
It appears to me that this image reflects people of all walks of life from around the world congregating around this plant, presumably some kind of plant of life. Looks pretty rad.
Sure, life.
Bunch of animals all around it. You know, whales doing flips and shit. Uh,
Yes.
there's that same bird,
The same bird, man.
and it perhaps represents a desire for harmony and peace. But I think
Hey, you know what?
it actually is conveying that we should all be globalized and have a world currency.
In
that-
keeping with the
Those
Illuminati's
tricky
desire for
globalists work their
control-
way in again.
They work their
in
way in
keeping with the
again.
Illuminati's desire for control, this piece of art symbolizes the Illuminati and the ease with which they control the masses.
Well, the mural itself is actually titled, and you were close with this, Ed, In Peace and Harmony with Nature. And it's
Oh,
meant
yeah.
to address the destruction of the environment. Which I can totally see, Like, there's monkeys there, they're
Yeah.
all smoking this psychedelic plant. They're great.
We're all hype on saving the planet. Everybody loves it. But really, this is conveying the globalist agenda clearly.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to the other painting that you wanted to talk about, Grant. This one's called The Children of the World Dream of Peace. And it's supposed to represent the desire to get rid of violence in society. It looks like something that the Beatles would have put into an animated cartoon of one of their videos when they were
Yes.
tripping on acid. So there's like a big big old rainbow circle, like almost circling everything. No, it's just above them. There's a bunch of people holding up signs about peace and playing guitars, and I think I see a gun hidden under a flag. No, that's just a lady holding something, possibly a gun. I don't know. And there's a
Those all look
statue.
like swords wrapped up in flags.
Yes, that's what that is. But the one to the left of the swords wrapped in flags, I can't really quite make it out. But they're all standing over a toppled statue of what looks kind of like a demon horned
A
Viking.
dictator with a gas mask.
Ah, that is a gas mask, isn't it? It looks like he has a
some sort.
horn as well.
Yes, it looks like there are multiple children from all walks of life holding flags wrapped in destruction, I presume.
Swords wrapped
you
up
can
in
see-
flags.
You can see
You can see the
Pakistan.
American flag. You can see British flag.
You can see Pakistan and India have wrapped up all of the destruction. You can see that Britain
China's
and
got
Ireland
one.
have wrapped up all of destruction. You got the USA and you got Russia wrapping up all this shrapnel, and you can see
There's
Israel.
Mexico in the top left.
You can
And
see
there's a
Israel
gigantic
and,
rainbow above the top. That's what gets me the most
Palestine.
about all this.
Well, that rainbow is the dream of peace, I suppose. So anyway, let's
The dream of peace with all of these depictions of imperialism wrapped up in the guise of nationalism,
yep.
all coming towards what seems to be the same end.
So there's one more painting I want to talk about briefly, because I kind
I
of want
just
to move
wanna
on from
touch
the
on this.
paintings.
I want to touch
Okay,
on this real quick.
touch away, my friend.
All right. So
touch
I mean,
us.
they have the toppled statue of a regime guy,
Yeah.
but generally, this still once again seems to be conveying the urge to unite all nations underneath a global currency by setting aside their differences and uniting under one world bank. All these children craving peace. Anyway, go on.
They're craving it, man. They just can't get enough.
They just crave it.
So the last
Anyway, go
painting I
on.
want to talk about is there's another one. I guess this is where people get some of their neo-Nazi theories about this establishment. There's
Yeah,
a
this one's Nazis.
there's a big painting of like a spoopy, scary Nazi with a shy guy mask, or I'm sorry, a gas mask, holding a sword and a machine gun, with a quote underneath him from a child who died at Auschwitz.
Oh, and the sword is killing a dove.
Oh, my picture does
Yeah.
not
That's
show
the
the dove.
ultimate symbolism for the
Fucking hates
destruction
that
of
dove,
peace.
man. So yeah. So what? So now we've established that clearly the Nazis and globalists and New World Order all live underneath this airport and use it for nefarious means and give us little hidden clues that they exist down there. What are they doing down there?
Yes, it's fairly clear to me that this picture depicting a gigantic fascist with a shish kebab sword stabbing a dove is leaving in his wake the destruction of people, crying mothers and babies. You know, he's like destroying a rainbow.
He
Like-
fucking hates that rainbow, man.
Clearly, this is the enemy that the New World Order
Oh
wants
man.
to protect and villainize, but also maybe hopes to become.
So Grant just shared with me a bigger picture of the painting, so I
Yeah.
can see the whole thing. Apparently, there's also what looks to be like a lazy river log flume ride of crying women.
Yeah, that's right.
Sliding around him. That's pretty great. Seems like a great day at Disneyland that I would love to ride that ride.
There's like destroyed buildings.
So much
there's,
better than
like,
Splash Mountain. Maybe a little less racist too.
it's like foreshadowing. This was like foreshadowing for the current crisis in Syria before it even happened.
I
That's
just
right.
have one question.
Yes.
What?
What exactly would possess an evil super secret organization to blatantly display large works of art to show off its headquarters underneath the world's 10th busiest airport to 50 million passengers a year?
You know, I've always wondered that as well. Like, if these are really secret
just don't-
operations and secret organizations, like, why are they leaving little clues? Like, this is a point-and-click adventure game.
They
You
just
know,
don't
like
think they could ever be stopped.
it
They just don't
defeats-
think they can be stopped.
But
So
it
they're getting
defeats
brazen.
But it defeats the purpose of being secret.
Maybe they want you to know that they are everywhere, and so that you're afraid of their all-seeing eye, which is on your money, by the way.
Yeah.
If
And
you've
if
ever
they were
spent a
all,
dollar, they've seen you.
and if they are all powerful, why would they care?
See, that kind of is getting to what I was asking earlier. So let's just assume for a moment that
Yeah.
either the NWO, the reptilians, the government, anybody, let's just assume that they do have a secret underground base. What are they doing down there? Like, what are they
They
hoping
just
to achieve with this base? Like, are they dissecting aliens? Are they feeding us to aliens? Are they committing weird
they do
gene
that somewhere
splicing
else.
experiments? Or are they all just worshiping like the devil down there? They're all down there like laying down mad riffs on their guitars and just playing metal
No,
music.
that's the Skull and Bones Society. You're getting the two mixed
The
up.
Skull and Bones Society like lays down mad riffs for the devil.
Well, yeah, but that's only after you pass their initiation ritual.
Oh, I see.
which is jamming like a banana.
Oh, that's great.
So, I don't know.
They have
I do
to,
love jamming bananas, like all day,
Yeah.
every day. You got to jam a banana at least once a day. It keeps the doctor away.
Jam them.
Kind of jam
Anyway,
it. So I guess they're
maybe,
actually,
who knows? Who knows? Could
yeah.
be secret prison. Could be bomb shelter for the world's most important people. Secretly the most important people,
Mhm.
or overtly, either way. Could be a FEMA concentration camp. I don't know, man.
Could be.
Who's been down there? It's sealed off. We don't know.
Oh, well, I'll tell you who's been down there. Lots of people, actually. So here's the reality of supposedly what's actually underneath there. It's
Yeah.
literally just a bunch of tunnels and tubes and shit that they basically use to get around the airport and like ship people back and forth, possibly
I mean,
for
that is true.
experiments.
I mean, yeah, I think everybody knows that.
Yeah, I mean it's just
Or at least
it's just a travel tube network, to be honest.
they should know that there's like a train system that brings you from terminal to terminal, goes underground. There's also an area for luggage handling,
Right.
bag handling.
And if you actually go to the airport, like you can actually ride through the tube that I'm referring to. Like they do use it to transfer passengers from one area of the airport to their planes and stuff. It's not
I've
something.
ridden through it.
Yeah, I mean it's not something that's
the
really all
best
that
train.
odd because like I mean a lot of airports do that. They just don't always have underground networks
My
to do it
favorite
with.
thing about that train is watching the people who aren't used to sudden shifts in momentum lose their balance and go flying.
That is
Yeah.
always the best part.
There's
not a lot of
always
shit in
at
space.
least a couple people on that train who never expect it.
It's mostly like standing space.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe
be
beyond
a
maybe
corridor.
beyond that, maybe that's a decoy tunnel. Maybe underneath it is where the reptilians lay in wait, laying their reptilian eggs and singing their reptilian songs, wishing
Yeah, I
for
mean
a
they
bright
gotta
new
keep
day.
them warm. Gotta keep them warm somehow.
That's
so,
right. They have an underground sun inside the hollow earth.
Yep. Why do
So
they need so much money to build it? Why?
because reptilians eat money, you know.
Yeah, they do. They
So-
sure do.
Let's get off the that angle there with the all the art and the underground shit. Let's talk about something that's actually right out and up in the open. Apparently, there's tiles in the Great Hall, which is also something that's of note because apparently they call the main what do you call it, lobby, I guess you'd say, the Great Hall, which is also what the Freemasons call their meeting places. So
You mean a Grand Lodge?
yes, inside the Grand Lodge they have a Great Hall.
Ah, okay.
You see. So
they
maybe
have
the
some
airport
tiles.
really is just a secret public Great Hall. But anyway, in the Great Hall, there are tiles that say, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to pronounce it or spell it. I'll pronounce it first because it's funny to me. O-ag or A-U space A-G.
Well, that one's easily.
Yeah, gold and silver.
Yes,
Yeah, it looks like a minecart.
one would assume, but apparently these letters represent a virus known as the Australia antigen, which is said could wipe out the world's population.
My God.
I know. That must be why our glorious leader is giving Australia a hard time right about now. He must know these
Yeah, I guess
secrets,
so.
So according to
But
my source here, this is the denverchannel.com again.
Clearly, the periodic table is a conspiracy against
Hidden
us.
in the airport is a tile with a mining cart etched into it. In the mining cart are four letters, which conspiracy theorists say aren't all too innocuous. Innocuous. The letters AUAG typically represent the elements of gold and silver, but many would believe the gold and silver on the cart are a reference to the gold rush, which built up the Denver area in the major U.S. city. Conspiracy theorists disagree, so this one might just be up to the N and O2. Nitrogen and oxygen make up 99% of the chemical composition of air. Okay, that wasn't as interesting to read as I thought it would be. My bad.
there are a few other things that are embedded in the floors.
There are actually. There's at one point in the airport. There's like a sculpture, and people say it looks almost like a keypad of sorts with like strange symbols engraved in the stone itself. One of the theories I've read is that this is actually used to access the secret aspects of the base, which is I guess you're able to interface with it through alien technology of some sort. Um, I have not seen this myself. I've seen a picture of it. I actually have not been to this airport. I kind of want to really go now.
There's some like gargoyles in suitcases. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
weird.
There's the gargoyles hanging out over the luggage conveyor, I believe.
Yeah, quite strange.
Last time I went there was in Christmas time, so it wasn't gargoyles, it was presents.
Oh, they changed it up, huh?
Presents and ornaments.
Maybe the gargoyles were inside the present boxes waiting to hop out at you. Kind of like it makes you wonder, like I guess the all the interesting sculptures and such. They all seem to have a bit of a sinister vibe, like between the gargoyles and the what you
Especially
call it?
that damn
The
horse.
fucking horse, who apparently has been nicknamed Blucifer. That's right, Blucifer.
Demon horse.
He's a fucking demon horse. He's completely blue in the daytime. At night, he's really fucking dark and has glowing red eyes and veins and a giant cock.
Yep, that's right.
He's believed to represent the fourth horseman of the apocalypse from the biblical book of Revelations. The fourth horseman specifically represents death.
That's right.
Because a blue horse clearly represents a pale mare.
It's yeah, maybe he's an avatar horse.
A blue stallion, no less. Because this is an anatomically correct horse.
Oh, and
They
here,
definitely took a lot of care to sculpt that butthole and those testes on this blue horse, this
yes,
demon.
the artist really
Please
had a thing for
describe
it.
it in even more detail.
Well, you see the veins ripple across that blue body.
Ooh.
Yep. I don't,
And you were
Don't stop
you were
there,
correct.
keep
You were
going.
correct, actually, Grant. The artist Luis Jimenez. Sorry,
Jimenez?
Jimenez. I guess I'm trying to pronounce the little accent.
Jimenez.
Jimenez. That's probably accurate. He was
In
actually.
Spanish, J is pronounced with an H sound.
That's right. We're
That's why
learning-
they say ja, 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 ja.
We learn something new every day here. He was actually killed by the statue in 2006. Before the statue had been completed, the piece of the statue fell on him and severed an artery in his leg. That's got to be a shitty way to go.
Yep.
Like, you got time to just
Killed
sit
by
there and watch
art.
all your blood fall out. Like,
oh my
oh,
blood,
somebody
losing
help
all of it.
me! Somebody, where the hell is everybody? I'm in front of a major airport. Somebody fucking help!
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean,
It might have been
being in
I don't
front
know.
of an airport, you slice an artery, you're kind of fucked unless there's a doctor within running distance.
Are you telling me there wasn't a doctor on that flight?
Flight? There was no flight. He was putting the
I
statue
know.
down there.
I was trying to reference. They say that in movies a lot. I'm cool.
Oh.
Big scary horse. What does it mean? What does it mean?
So, do you guys think the Illuminati will use the airport as a headquarters when they take over humanity?
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think we'll wipe ourselves out before they have the chance.
What if they wipe
I mean,
us
what if
out?
that's
What if they
what if
orchestrated it?
Yeah.
They
What
want to
if it was their
control us.
intention?
What? would they gain by killing us all?
The whole Earth.
They'll have time now.
Time now.
Exactly. The Illuminati don't want to destroy everything. They want to control everything.
Well, population control is one of the things they would like to control, I suppose.
Yeah, probably. Apparently, the Denver International Airport had a conspiracy theories uncovered gallery
That's right.
at its house on October the 20th.
It's like a little permanent museum of conspiracy theories, right?
It's like they're taunting us, really. I mean,
Well, apparently the
so
current team,
gullible.
the current the current team of people that are in charge of the PR and marketing of the airport have decided recently to just embrace all the bullshit. And so
Yeah.
yeah, they kind of are just like kind of poking fun at it, and they're like, haha, wouldn't it be cool? You know, wouldn't it be great if I'm not saying we got reptiles like blending people with sheep, underneath the airport here, but wouldn't it be great if they were? Hey, hey,
It's all part of hiding in plain sight. You know what I mean? It's all
And
part of
I,
just.
I see what you did there with plain
Oh,
sight.
that was
Oh,
unintentional,
oh, oh.
but that makes it even more
Yes.
hiding in plain sight. Planes
Plain sight.
did 9/11.
Oh God,
9/11.
are you telling me that the Denver International Airport did a 9/11?
I'm not saying they didn't,
I
but
think what he's trying to say is that planes did 9/11, which I guess is true. In
I
the
mean,
same
it's technically
sense that guns
true, yeah.
kill people.
yeah,
Oh God.
it's plain to see.
I love it. I love it. Keep the puns coming. That's what I always say.
No matter, or so this dude named Montgomery said, no matter what you do, you lose. You show people the tunnels and explain the symbols, you lose. You clam up and deny it, you lose. So that's why we've started to have fun with these, because people are going to believe what they believe regardless of hard evidence. Well, you know what, Montgomery? I ain't buying it.
He's not buying it. What do you think is what do you think is actually going on under there, Ed?
It's probably a combination of reptilian warming chambers because they have cold blood and it's cold in Colorado. And
That
then it's
totally
also
are
going to
not
be
Jewish
like,
or Israeli in any way.
yeah, totally not Jewish or Israeli in any way. And there's probably a secret prison in there, secret holding cells, maybe even an entire FEMA concentration camp.
Wow.
Consecration camp.
Wow.
Think about it.
So are you saying that they can't be Jewish if they want to?
No, they're not Jewish. That's why the consecration camp is there.
Yes, but couldn't a
They couldn't be consecrated if they
if-
were Jewish.
what if a reptilian decided he wanted to convert? Would he be
Well, then he would never
exiled
be able.
from his society?
No, the whole reason they undergo consecration is so that they can walk among us.
Yes.
If one of them doesn't want to be consecrated, then they've got to stay consigned to the underground.
Ah, yes, the underground. I'm sure they're having a lot of fun underground as well. I know I would be.
Yeah, it's probably one big party down there.
I know, it's a big reptile party. Everyone's eating crickets and getting drunk, and they got they got lizard strippers dancing in
you
cages.
probably go
What
down there.
exactly
You probably
do
go
lizards
down.
drink to get drunk?
Whiskey,
Blood.
of course. Yes, human blood. Human blood.
Human blood.
That's
blood.
why they have to juice us. They got to get us down there, and they got to put us in the big juicer, and they get all of our blood, man.
You know what I think's going on down there. You go down. You enter the secret code above the airport. You go through the tunnels beneath it. And you find the other secret entrance. You go down the long corridor, and then you open the door, and then you get on the floor, and everybody walks the dinosaur.
Yes. Thank you
'Cause they're
so
all
much for that.
That was all reptiles.
That was brilliant. I was
Hey,
I was all about listening to where you were going with this, and then you brought it back into Funktown.
funky. Walk the
Funky.
dinosaur.
Everyone get up, get on the floor. Everybody move the
Walk
dinosaur.
dinosaur. Boop, 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 boop. Anyway,
That's so much fun. So,
so
let's see. Did we go over pretty much everything about that already?
I guess so. I don't know.
Did we? Did we not? Is anything you guys? Any last words from everybody? We haven't heard your theory, Grant. What is your theory of what's really going on with the airport?
Please help me. They're keeping me hostage and feeding me old grapes.
What? We're not doing that. Nobody
No,
listened to
no.
him. Nobody listened to him. We're definitely not doing that
Definitely
to
not.
him.
Not me.
Maybe there's other people in the basement, but not Grant. He's clearly
Yes,
here
Denver,
with his
the
own,
Denver
on his
International
own will.
Airport is keeping you hostage and feeding you
Yes, it's
old
them,
grapes.
not us.
Somebody
Right.
help me.
All right, that was a successful first episode, I think. I hope everyone had fun listening to our rambling. Yeah, I guess what do you do with a podcast? You just rate us 5, you know? I think that's what you have to do. Smash those like buttons, and
Yeah.
you got to smash them. You got to don't if your keyboard still
What
has
the hell
a like.
podcast website has a like
I
button?
don't know, but you
Subscribe.
never know. Yeah, subscribe to us, like download our shit,
Yeah.
and listen to us, because
Press
we
buttons.
really like it when people listen to us. You know,
Yep.
we're like the only podcast out there that talks about this stuff. There's certainly no others. Certainly none have come before us.
None.
This is the most original podcast ever
They don't exist.
casted. You know, yeah, they don't exist. We're the one and only. So smash your subscribe buttons to the Paranormal Lolcast right now, or we'll come find you.
And remember, they're putting chemicals in the water, turning all of the frogs gay.
Ooh.